Inside this book, I've built a secret AI system that lets you turn any photo into a professional-looking storybook, the kind that can earn thousands of dollars. And today, I'm going to show you step-by-step how easy it is to start this business from scratch. So what's this idea exactly? It's about creating custom children's storybooks using AI, whether you want to sell them as a physical book or a digital download. So the customer sends us details like their kid's name and a clear photo of the child. Then using that info, we generate a completely personalized story where the kid becomes the main character with consistent matching AI visuals and everything custom to their details, from the idea to the writing to the design and final product. Now usually, for each part of this process, you'd need a team of skilled experts, hundreds of dollars, and a ton of time just to get something decent. But with my system, I've created ready-to-use prompts for every single step. You don't need to be a writer, you don't need to be a designer, just follow along. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to create and sell personalized children's books from scratch. Alright, so first, let's validate the business idea and see if it's actually making money. I found this listing right here. They sell personalized kids' books, and even without custom illustrations, they're making over $6,000 a month. This one's pulling in around $4,000 a month, and this other one is doing $2,500 a month. So clearly, this niche is profitable and people are actually buying. So step number one is to build a store where people can actually order. Some people sell on Etsy, but I want a branded store, so Shopify will be our go-to. It's just $1 for the first 3 months, which gives you plenty of time to test things out. Then we must secure the domain name. For all my stores, I always go with a .store domain, and I'll show you how to grab yours for just 99 cents. Inside .store, I'm searching here to see if the name Kid Tales is available. And yep, amazing, it's available. When it shows up, click Add to Cart. Now normally it says $29, but if you use my special link or enter the code 10XIncome, you'll get it for just 99 cents. After that, just create an account if you don't already have one, and enter your payment info. And just like that, you now own your .store domain. Now you might ask, why .store? Well, websites on .store get 87% more traffic and rank 2 times higher on Google compared to regular domains. People like Mr. Beast, iShowSpeed, Cristiano Ronaldo, and over 1.5 million sellers trust .store. So now let's connect your domain to Shopify, and it's done in just a few clicks. Sign into your .store account and click Manage next to your domain. Then click Quick Connect and choose Shopify Connect. After that, head to your Shopify store, open the domain settings, and click on Connect Existing Domain. Type in the domain you just bought and hit Next. And congratulations, your domain is now fully connected. And before I show you the store I built and what I did, you should know that when you get a .store domain, you also unlock Elevate.store, which is a free toolkit loaded with exclusive deals on tools like Canva, Shopify, and more. Alright, so I spent about 30 minutes, and here's the product page I built. I like to keep it simple, especially when testing. I've added a few clear images that show the personalized aspect of the product. All of this was generated with AI, by the way. Here we have the product title, and right below that I listed some bullet points that explain more about the product and help with the buying decision. I've added 2 book types to choose from, hardcover and digital download, where the digital version is the cheaper one, of course. Then right here is where the magic starts, as I've added custom fields for the personalization. So right there, the customer uploads their child's image and then enters the essential info like the kid's name, age, story theme, and any extra notes they want to add. And to add those custom fields, you need an additional Shopify app, like this one I've used. And just like that, the product page is ready to use, and it looks amazing. So with your store ready, let's create a full story and walk through the entire process. Step number 1 is collecting the customer info. You get an order, and they send you all the required details. Let's take this kid as an example. Here's the clear image. His name is Luca. He's 6 years old. And the story theme should be something like adventure, treasure map, hidden secrets, courage, that kind of vibe. So now with all this info, we move to step number 2, which is generating the story idea. It's time to use my first ChatGPT prompt, which will do everything for us. All we have to do is enter the kid's name, age, and story theme based on the info we got. Then we copy that prompt and paste it into ChatGPT. And in a matter of seconds, you'll get cool story ideas to pick from. Now, of course, you can always ask for more ideas, but for this video, I'm gonna go with Luca.
And the map that glows. When Luca finds a glowing map tucked inside
That sounds interesting to me, so let's move on to step 3, turning the idea into a full storyboard. And this step is the most important one because it builds the entire story structure. We'll generate everything, starting with the page number, then what happens on each page, followed by a clear visual description of the scene, what the main character is doing, the mood of the moment, and finally the exact line of text that will be shown inside the book. And we will generate all of that using just one prompt. So in this prompt here, you start by specifying the page numbers, depending on how long you want your story to be. Then right here, you paste the story idea. So basically, just copy the ChatGPT answer from earlier and drop it in here. Re-enter the kid's name and age to make sure everything stays consistent. Then once you copy that full prompt and send it to ChatGPT, it will instantly give you the entire detailed story structure with everything you need laid out. Like for the first scene as an example, you can see what happens, the visual description, the action, and the exact storyline for that page.
Luca was cleaning his toy box when he spotted something glowing.
So with the storyboard ready, let's move to step 4, which is turning the scenes into ready-to-use image prompts. As you know, to generate high-quality images, you need very good prompts, and it could take hours of refinements to get the results you wanted. However, using my secret prompt, you'll get that in seconds. As you can see, it's quite a long prompt, and the way it works is different than usual. So first, what you have to do is copy the entire prompt and basically give it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will then ask you to provide the scene you want to generate the visual prompt for. So you go back to the previous answer, copy the first scene, and give it back to ChatGPT. And in a few seconds, you'll get this super detailed prompt that will give you incredible results. So you basically repeat this process until you have all prompts ready for all the scenes. So now, with all prompts ready, it's time to turn them into actual images. The process is simple. We just copy the scene prompt from ChatGPT and use a tool called OpenArt to bring the idea to life. So inside OpenArt, we're gonna choose Nano Banana Pro as the image model. It's currently the best model for consistent results and prompt accuracy. We start by copying the first prompt from ChatGPT and pasting it in this box right here. Now, most importantly, for all images, you must attach the kid's reference image right here. Make sure you do that for every single image. As for the aspect ratio, I'll go with book. Once we're done, we hit create, and in seconds, we got our first amazing image generated. So now we basically repeat the exact same process until we have all of the story images generated. And if we take a look side by side, we'll notice the character looks exactly like the reference, and the overall consistency is incredible. But we still have one more step before we put everything together and turn this into a full storybook, which is generating an attention-grabbing book cover. And this step is usually the hardest because it requires good design skills. That's why I've put together this crazy prompt, and you won't find anything like it anywhere. Just like we did with the other prompts, copy the entire thing and paste it into ChatGPT. ChatGPT will then ask you to provide the story title and a short description, and you can simply grab that from the first step we already did. Once you enter that, ChatGPT will give you this detailed prompt right here. So again, copy that, paste it into OpenArt, make sure the kid's reference image is attached, and hit create. And as you can see, you not only get the cover image, but you also get the entire design done, including the title text, which means you don't have to design anything yourself. Even better, this prompt automatically adjusts the text style and overall layout depending on the story idea you entered. So at this point, you should now have your full story, the cover, all scenes with images, the storyline for each page, which means we're ready for the final step, finalizing the storybook. And to do that, we'll use Canva, where we'll put the pages in order and insert the story text for each page. And in this step, it's up to you how you'd like to structure your book. You can have the text and image on the same page, or split them up, with the image on one page and the text on the next. It's literally whatever you prefer. So I went with option 2. Inside Canva, I placed the image on one page, and basically copied the story text for that scene and added it to the following page. Then I just repeated the exact same process until I finished all the pages. And just like that, you should now have a ready-to-sell, personalized storybook that looks super professional, with a consistent story and matching visuals all the way through. But I know you're asking, how do I actually turn this into a real book? So let's say you get an order and want to deliver the storybook. Well, like I said, you've got two options. The first is digital delivery, which means you just send the PDF file to your customer, and they're free to use it digitally or print it out themselves. The second option is delivering a real printed copy to your customer. And to do that, you'll need a print-on-demand service that handles everything for you. For this specific product, I recommend Gelato. As you can see, they offer both hard and soft cover books. You can even check how much it'll cost you to deliver that book, which you subtract from your selling price to make a profit. So you just upload all the pages you created in Canva, enter your customer's address here, and place the order. Then Gelato handles the rest. They print and ship the book straight to your customer. And as for marketing the product and getting sales, the method I recommend in this case is paid ads. Whether you launch Facebook ads or TikTok ads, this will be the fastest way to get traffic and test the product.